Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic St. Hope. And today I come to talk to y'all about sexism. Well, not really so much sexism, but just the history of why women get paid less than men. If y'all remember a few days ago, I asked y'all, it was a few days ago, maybe a week ago, I asked y'all if y'all knew why women made less money than men. Some of y'all replied, some of y'all didn't answer. I'm gonna just assume y'all didn't know. I posted it on IG. I also posted it as a post here on YouTube to kind of like get some of your ideas around why women get less money than men. So here it is. I'm gonna tell y'all what I know, right? So we live in a patriarchal society, right? A lot of societies were built on patriarchy, right? Like men ruled societies, right? So in a lot of these societies, the man has the responsibility to take care of the woman, right? And the woman had the responsibility to take care of household chores, rearing the children, and other like domestic work, right? So when women finally started to enter the workforce, and I'm going to talk about here, I'm not talking about globally. When women started to enter the workforce here, you know, they took certain factors into consideration when they was determining what they were going to pay them and how much they were going to pay them. So when this, whatever you want to call it, huddle, I don't want to call it huddle, but meeting, whatever, deliberation, whatever they did, right, consultation came about, they took certain things into factors when they decided of how much they was going to pay them. It was one, that they do menstruate, and they look at menstruation like some type of sickness, right? Like you get sick, sometimes you don't want to work, or you can't work, or is I don't know. I never had a menstruation, but for the sisters, y'all know, sometimes it's very unbearable. And another thing is, who is the primary caretaker of the children, which is usually the women. So notice that even though a child might have both parents in the household, usually who do they call when the child gets sick, or when they need to get picked up from school, or when they have any ailment or situation, that somebody needs to, care for them or go pick them up or whatever the case might be. It's usually the woman that gets called. It don't matter if the father lives in the household or not. Usually society recognizes the woman as the primarily caretaker. So the mother would usually have to take off of work. She usually will be the one that will get called, and like your employer can tell you, no, you can't go get your kid. So they consider some of these things, right? So women were considered like a liability in the workforce because of these reasons. And there might be some other reasons that I might be missing. But the main reason is the primary caretaker, and also because menstruation, and they say you get sick, and sometimes you can't work when you sick. So they looked at it, and also maternity leave, and a lot of and these different things. So they looked at it like the woman is a bigger liability at work than the man is, because the man doesn't have to undergo through these things. Now, I'm not telling you if they was right or if they was wrong. I'm just giving you the history of what they was thinking about when they decided, like, all right, well, we can't pay them the same amount if one is going to be a higher liability in the workforce than the other. Again, and I'm not saying this is all women, because some women don't have kids, etc., etc. So this is the history behind why women get less money than men. Now let's fast forward. Today, right? Some women are asking for more money. They want to get equal pay. They look at it like, oh, we just get paid less money because they hate us. Men hate us. They just so sexist and they hate us. But come on, sometimes you gotta dig deeper to, like, why am I getting paid this? I'm not saying this right. Again, I'm not saying this right. I'm not saying this wrong. But again, like I always say, to know where you're headed, you gotta know where you've been. History plays a vital role in everything that's going on in our society today. So what I'm saying is this: some women want more money today. And in my opinion, or not just my opinion, well, in my opinion, I think that when you give, like, some women want to get more money, but at the same time, they still want the perks, right? It's like we talk about sexism when it's convenient, right? But then it's like we don't talk about the double standards of sexism and patriarchy, right? We don't talk about how you want the same amount of money as me, but mind you, the man had the responsibility to pay for the bills, buy you stuff, feed you, clothe you, and all these different things, right? That's also part of these aspects, right, of the patriarchy, right? So it also puts some type of pressure on the man. Like, you think men just want to be spending money on you all the time? You know what I'm saying? Like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the reality. Some men do it, they enjoy it, they you know, whatever. It is what it is. Some men really don't, because it puts a burden on him that he has to do these things, right? Because that's the other aspects of patriarchy. It's not just you being in a crib. It's also he gotta do these things for you. Like, you don't gotta work. You could just chill. And he has to do these things for you. So that's another side of the coin, right? So I think that if you expect to get more money, then you should also expect to cover some of that stuff, right? Like, if we trying to really eradicate patriarchy, then you can't expect to get more money and get the same amount of money as men, but still expect them to pay for or for everything. You can't still expect them to pay the bills and pay for the food and pay for this and buy you things and gives you gifts all the time and pay for everything. Because that's the whole purpose. The purpose of him getting more money is because the responsibility is on him to take care of you and maintain you. And the other reasons, because they feel like you are a liability on the workforce, so you get what you get a little sum, and he gonna get this because society still expects him to do all these things. And that's some of the things that, and I get it. And I'm not saying this right or wrong. I'm just telling you the ideology. Because fast forward today, right? You got some women who are single. They're not married. They're single mothers. So is it fair to them that they still getting these low wages when they don't have a man at home, when they're not married, when they're not, they don't have that nuclear family, right? It's not fair to them, because the whole idea behind them getting that less money is coming from the standpoint of, well, women gonna be married, right? Like, people gonna be married. They're gonna create these civil unions. So this was the idea behind, like, creating, like, this kind of like, she gonna get less because there's gonna be a man there, and the man going to, like, take care of everything else, all the expenses. But that's not the case today, right? A lot of women are single, raising children on their own, and they need to make the extra money. That's just the reality of the things. But I don't know what's the solution gonna be. But I'm just saying, like, we just got to be open that if you are going to get more money, then I think that you should be contributing to some stuff. Like, I feel like if that's, it makes sense. Like, because you just can't have both. I just feel like that's also part of patriarchy. Don't think, oh, patriarchy is, oh, they just keeping me down, they don't want me to thrive. And then it's like, you're gonna thrive and you're gonna come up here and we're gonna be at the same level, but you still expect me to do all the other things that patriarchy expected men to do. So I just think that, yeah, if you want to be up here, you want to get more bread, then yeah, you gotta start spending. And shout out to my sisters that already do that without getting the same pay like men. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. I ain't taking none away from y'all, because there's definitely a lot of y'all that be, y'all be paying like y'all weight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm not coming at nobody. I'm just being realistic. Like, if we're gonna move away from patriarchy, from male dominated society, then we also got to move away from all the ideologies of, I got to pull your chair out. And let's not call it, oh, it's just being nice, it's just being courteous, because you could open the door too. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't get to the door. If you got to the door before me, you could open the door so I could, and you could go in first. You don't got to open the door and hold it for me. But I'm saying, if you got to the door before me, I know some women that will wait for the guy to open the door for them. Or some women that will wait for the guy to pull out the chair for them. You know what I'm saying? Or pay the bill, or open the car door, or do all these different things. And we might call it it's just being nice, but no, this is also aspects of patriarchy. So this is some of the things that we got to think about. We got to think about, when we talking about eradicating patriarchy and sexism, we have to be equal. You know what I'm saying? I'll give you another example. If a dude slapped me in the face, I'm probably gonna defend myself. I'm probably gonna do something to that person. I'm probably gonna, I'm gonna get back if a dude, because it's a man, right? So I'm probably gonna do something to that person. But if a woman slapped me in the face, society and some of these women, they would expect me not to defend myself or treat this woman like I would treat this man, right? But guess what? That's sexism too. I'm giving you totally different treatment because you are a woman. Why? Why should I treat you any different than the man? Right? Because this is what some of your arguments be, right? Y'all want to be treated equally. Y'all want the same thing. You want the same thing all around, right? So, but then when it comes to certain things, it's like, oh, but I'm a woman. Oh, no. Like, do you want to be a woman and you want to like what do we really want, right? And again, I'm not sitting here trying to say you should put your hands on. I don't think nobody should put their hands on nobody. That's just the bottom line. But I just think that part of sexist ideologies also feeling like, oh, because I'm a woman, I'm gonna get treated like this. Or you want to be treated like this, but then when it comes to certain things, you don't want to be treated like this. So we pick and choose when we want to apply sexism in our society. And I just think that's wrong. I think if we overall want to eradicate that patriarchy and sexism, then I think we should do it overall. Forget about your perks, forget about your benefits, and eradicate everything. That's just my idea. Because the reality is that some sisters be crying out misogyny and sexism, and some sisters out here are really misandrist. Some sisters out here, I'm gonna say it again, some of you sisters out here are misandrist. Y'all disguise yourself as feminists or whatever other stuff that goes on, whatever other woman movement. Some of y'all disguise yourselves. I'm not saying everybody, but some of y'all disguise yourselves as these feminists, and we just want the rights. But some of y'all are really misandrous. Some of y'all are really man-hating women, because that's what misandrous means for some of y'all that don't know. Some of y'all are man-hating women who just got like some type of burden on your shoulders, or some type of like anger, some type of pent up revenge, and you just want to get back, and that's cool. Revenge is something that is natural. We feel it. We all want to get back, but that's something you gotta address too if you're a misandrist. Just like the man gotta address their misogyny, and if they hate women and they contempt, men should address that too. They need to address that too. But at the same time, we also have some sisters who need to address their misandrist ways, and then we could all be a better society, inshallah, by the will of God. So that's just my thoughts. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, share, comment on the bottom. Let me know what y'all think though. I really want to keep this conversation going. Some of y'all not gonna comment, some of y'all gonna be like, I'm on some BS, but I encourage y'all to watch the video, the whole video. I should have said this in the beginning, but let me know what y'all think though. Word. Peace.